I'd like to share with you an idea that I have had for many years now about how to potentially fix our system right now. Just somewhat fix it. So bear with me because I have to give you a little bit of foundation. There isn't really any way to take money out of politics because you can't tell people where they can and can't spend their money or who they can and cannot support. That's an unfortunate reality, but it's a reality we have to deal with. We can't tell private companies, for example, such as the internet companies, the tech oligarchs and so on, who they must or must not have on their platforms. That's true too. And we can't necessarily get rid of the idea of a party apparatus because, once again, you're free to support whomever you want. So we have to work within those confines. But what we can do, what can be done, is that there can be a, let's say, for example, a open source, blockchain, auditable by anybody, government website, for example, that hosts people who are running for office, for example. So this means that you don't have to have necessarily term limits. And the reason being is because then people are free to make their choices. And of course, you still vote in paper and everything. And I'm still a big proponent of paper ballots. But as far as the information getting out there, anybody who was, let's say that you wanted to run for, I don't know, maybe a House seat in your state. Well, you already know that if you have any unpopular ideas or ideas that are going to cost money to the oligarchs out there, they're going to try and deplatform you and get rid of you and silence you and do everything they can to get rid of you. But if there's this website that is blockchain controlled, only you can upload and only you can delete for any reasons, because remember, if you're running for something in the realm of politics, for example, then you truly should have 100% pure free speech. The reason that is, even the most unpopular, hateful, horrible speech, the reason that is so that way people can see how crazy or an unhinged you really are, or how moderate and tempered you are, right? I mean, like you want people to be able to see both. You want that. That's actually really important to be able to do that. So when people go to this, they log onto this website, for example, they can just see this fictional website that I'm just kind of conjuring that is on blockchain, can't be messed with. Anytime there's any changes, it can be audited instantly. So yeah, then they can upload their videos and talk about what their position is on these political issues, for example, that affect the country or their state. And the reason, of course, you do it at the federal level, even though it's handling it on the state level, you would just do that just so that they have a place to post this stuff. That way, even the states can't really undo that. The state could do their own individual thing if they wanted to, but this would be something that I would think would be kind of all-encompassing. So it allows somebody who's running for an office, for example, because a lot of people, I find, they're not really interested in politics. I hate politics personally. But there are people who do have some pretty good ideas, and there are people who are qualified to say, hey, listen, I can do a term, and here's our ideas. Let's try and fix a few things. There's people out there like that. There's guys who run plumbing companies. There's guys who are auto mechanics. There are guys who do all kinds of stuff. Bartenders. I mean, just whoever. Okay, so they could upload their videos, multiple videos. So there's no like campaign. It's not like a campaign type video. No, they can do this, for example, and that's just it. But again, it's only for people who are candidates or people who are involved in that system. So it's not just for anybody. It's not like TikTok where it's just a free for all. Okay, so it's not like YouTube or something like that. Anyway, so this idea kind of it gets rid of the idea of how much people can spin, because if you're the voter, you could just go to the source and you could just ask a question, right? You could just post a comment below and ask a question. And this eliminates the party control that we see right now in the U.S. in particular. And actually, by the way, I mean, I would suggest this other countries maybe start looking into this idea, because it eliminates the party control aspect. It eliminates what we're doing, the good of the party. Screw the party. We need to talk about like what's going on with the people, because the people keep getting railroaded all the time. Left and right doesn't matter. This really shouldn't be a left-right issue for anybody, actually. This is just one of these things that, like, people in general keep getting railroaded by these parties on both sides. in the U.S. in particular, because since it's the Democrat-Republican thing, they kind of get hosed. Well, this would solve that, and the party apparatus isn't going to like this. The lobbyists aren't going to like this because, of course, there's going to be people who the money doesn't mean anything to them. I don't care how much money you're attempting to donate to me. I don't want your money, so that means I'm after things like rule of law. That means I'm after things like, hey, let's have a consistent set of rules that apply to everybody, not just some people occasionally, or rules that you can just buy your way around if you can print enough dollars. So this idea, and this is an idea I've had kind of rolling around in my head for a long time, and the technology now exists to do something like this pretty easily, from what I can tell. I don't think this would be too far. Now, again, most lifer politicians aren't going to like this, because the lifer politicians will probably get voted out of office very quickly, especially if they've got 50 competitors, let's say. For real. And you can even show stats where they are in polls. You can take polls that are there scientifically. I mean, you can actually do a lot with something like that and remove the tech oligarchs from it entirely. Oh yeah, you could have a tech oligarch design it and build it and so on. I think there's better guys out there for that. But one I've met personally, actually. I mean, I think there's better people that can design